So, fans of the Mission Impossible franchise, should you choose to watch this video, stay till the end only if you have watched the entire movie. If you have not, go and watch the movie first and then come and watch this video because spoiler alert, I'm a shit show when I talk. Spoiler alert, everything you have watched I'm going to discuss in this movie. So if you have not watched, watch the movie, leave now, and if you have watched the movie, stay. So, guys, to give you a basic summary of this movie begins with a submarine. It's a Russian submarine wherein there is a huge system of AI stored, and it only unlocks or it can be controlled via using a four-dimensional key. It has to be attached to each other. It's kind of a pendant-looking key. So what AI governments have been trying to take control of this AI throughout the world, but AI from being a self-learning brain, it keeps learning and learning new things and becomes capable of hacking any governmental infrastructure, world defenses, and any other monetary infrastructure, and many more things it can do. And it starts going rogue. It starts learning new things on its own, goes beyond the human control, and it destroys its own submarine when it is stored in and kills off all the human beings. And somehow mysteriously the keys have been taken away from the, what do you say, the soldiers of the submarine. uh, and IMF gets a mission. Obviously, Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt gets the mission to find those key and return to the safer hands. But once Tom Cruise gets to know what this AI is involved in, what this AI wants to do, he decides not to give it into any government's hands but kill it himself. He wants to kill the AI. But the premise is that uh, his past returns, an enemy from the past, played by Isai Morales as Gabriel. Uh, he comes back from the dead somehow. His past is erased. He is trying to kill Ethan Hunt, and Ethan Hunt wants to kill him back. But you just watch the movie. That's all I can say, because now so many things, as I started to talk about this movie, there's so many things jumping into my head immediately. I mean, there's a lot much going on in this movie, guys, and there is suspense in every scene. So it is very difficult for me to talk right now, but I'm going to try my best. So yes, this part one, Dead Reckoning Part One, revolves around keeping the key into the right safe hands, but keeps going from here and there, here and there, here and there. Uh, First, it is taken by Haley Atwell's Grace, who is also a thief, an extortionist, a kidnapper. I don't think a kidnapper, but yes, she's a thief, moreover, gambler, whatever you can call her, and she is brilliant, by the way, in this movie. Also, one thing I would like to add about Haley Atwell is that the connection between Tom Cruise, or rather the chemistry, that's what they say. So, the chemistry between Haley Atwell and Tom Cruise has been beautifully picturized. They go very well together. There's nothing over the top between the two. The expressions, the emotions, and display of emotions on their faces, their dialogues with each other, that was just beautiful. Just the moment Ethan loses Elsa, I think she's a kind of replacement. I'll say Grace is kind of a replacement as she comes in between. Not in between, after Elsa, and they kind of connect very well towards the end. She supports Ethan very well, and he's just done a fantastic job at connecting with Ethan. Great. And Ethan also, like, at the same time, he's not like too much overpowering Elsa, and Elsa is also Grace, and Grace is also not overpowering herself, but also keeping a balance between her action and emotions, and also a balance between Ethan's actions and emotions. Well balanced and beautifully done. Yeah, she takes it. Ethan Hunt takes it from her, and eventually, as the story flows ahead, she gets to know what she's going to get involved into. She just joins the IMF along with Ethan Hunt, IMF group with Ethan Hunt, Simon Peggs, Benji Dunn, and Wing Ramses, Luther Striker or something. It is a surname. I forgot. You can tell me in the comment section what Luther's surname, last name is in this movie. I've actually kind of forgot the word. I've just gone out of my brain. Also, there is Rebecca Ferguson as Elsa Faust, who has written again after Mission Impossible Fallout. To give you a bigger spoiler alert, she kind of dies. You never know actually, but yes, she's dead in this. Her character just dies in this movie. Gabriel kills her off in an attempt to save Grace. Haley Atwell's Grace character, and also Pom Clemente. She's here as an antagonist again, but she kind of for me she kind of looked like what do you call her? You have, if you guys have seen David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad, and there's this ninja chick who keeps fighting with a sword. So that kind of a chick, she comes around. She also has a sword, by the way. Also returning in this is Vanessa Kirby as the White Widow, Ilana, and she's a babe as always. As beautiful and charming and charismatic she is, she's scared at the same time because this time bigger entity is involved as a villain, and it is observing every other move of all of these characters, and it is a lot of steps ahead of these all of these characters. So she is also scared in this movie, but she comes out brilliant. One complaint for me, it is Simon Pegg and Ving Rhames and Vanessa Kirby's characters are a little bit short-lived. Their runtime in this movie is quite short, but as short as they are extremely crucial. You start watching every scene, there is a suspense in every smallest of the smallest scene, and it just comes out so amazingly and at the same time hilarious. By the way, comic timings are also beautifully timed. uh, the comic timing begin with the cheese sequence in the Venice, Italy. I'll come down to that shortly. It's kind of the similar to Fallout. The Fallout party scene and the Dead Reckoning party scene are quite similar. There is where the White Widow was introduced, and her introduction in this part is also the same, nothing different. That is not a spoiler for anybody. Uh, Dialogue scenes, if you go at the dialogue scenes, I'll say you have to pay attention to them because the explanation, quite a few reviewers are saying that the explanation is quite longer, dialogue scenes are quite longer. Yes, for people who go and watch the movie for Tom Cruise doing his stunts on his own, yes, for them it can be quite irritating to see the dialogues quite longer, but at the same time they're quite important because they're AI. Even in the reality today, the AI, Chat GPT, whatever you say, it has been introduced newly, so there is a lot of explanation going on around the world. Here, as the same thing has been done, quite justice has been provided to the explanation of the entity or AI, if you say. Yeah, the dialogues are also quite important. Keep a good focus on them. Listen to them from start to end, especially the ending. The narration towards the ending is quite good, and you have to keep listen to it. You need to have good ears. If you see when the dialogue scenes are happening, the cameras are also tilted into different kind of angles, what they call as Dutch angles. The Dutch angles are like tilted angles. So like when you're watching the movie, you're going, and suddenly there is everything is tilted like that. So yeah, the Dutch angles are there, which also belong to the Mission Impossible #1. Okay, the Dutch angles were introduced over there in Mission Impossible franchise from the very first part of this movie. They were there, so they have been brought back by Christopher Maguire. Uh, Beautifully done. I love those angles. Great to see. The action, yeah, every stunt keeps building and building and building and building up, starting from the car to bike chase sequence. The first one is in the desert. The desert sequence is the first and foremost. It starts from the horse chase sequence, gets into a fight, turns into a gunfight sequence, and it is, by the way, beautifully filmed. Again, it has been filmed in uh, sandstorm, just like in Ghost Protocol. In Abu Dhabi, they are shooting the sequence, and there is a sandstorm coming from the desert towards the city. Again, here in They're again in the deserts of the Abu Dhabi, so they are shooting right there. Again, the sandstorm is coming. The fighting sequence happens. The gun violence, rather, it happens there. Second is in the airport sequence. Beautiful foot chase sequence. My God, that suspense was amazing to watch, guys. It was just like, whoo, and AI also takes over there, plants over there. Uh, Ethan, Benji, and Luther get caught off guard by AI, and it just plays with their minds so brutally and brilliantly. I mean, that scene is also worth watching. Next, coming down to the chase sequence, which first begins with Haley Atwell running away from Ethan, and because obviously she doesn't trust anybody in the beginning, she is kind of a lone wolf thief. She plays alone. She plays alone. So yeah, that bike sequence is amazing. There is where you get introduced to Pom Clemente's Paris character. She is freaking badass. Hats off to all of these women, man. Amazingly played, which gets followed by a chase sequence between Haley, where Ethan joins Grace, and they get handcuffed. They handcuff each other. He handcuffs her rather so that she doesn't escape from him. And there's where the chase sequence begins, and it is beautifully timed, beautifully filmed, and it is all real on the streets of Venice, Italy, and it just keeps diving so amazingly. And Pom Clemente is another in a bigger convoy vehicle of SWAT police officers. So wow, it was great. Uh, Third, I would like to talk about Elsa Faust. She is more badass than before, and she has a deadly fight sequence. For a fight sequence in the desert. Obviously, she's shooting as a sniper. She has done a great job. Then she has a fight sequence along with who Gabriel over the bridge just after the party where she dies. She is killed off by Gabriel there, which is extremely emotional to see because she was the next romantic interest. She was supposed to be the next romantic interest of Ethan Hunt. And Ethan Hunt, obviously, after getting separated from Michelle Monaghan's, what was her character's name? What was Michelle's character's name? Ah, shit. That also gone out of my head. I'm sorry. That's gone out of my head. Keep posting. Troll me in the comment section for forgetting everything, and also post the name of the character she played. So yeah, after that, I don't think he had much of the romantic scenes. There was only one kissing scene between Vanessa Kirby and Vanessa Kirby's White Widow and this guy Ethan in Fallout. Small kissing scene for a second, and then nothing, and directly over here. But yeah, they got quite close. But I think not having kissing scene in this movie was quite a uh, because of the pandemic situations, because this movie was shot in the pandemic. All these female characters, Pom, Rebecca, Vanessa, and Haley, have performed their characters extremely well, and they come as feminine women. There is no gender identity politics involved, no modern feminism involved. So it comes as really good, charming, charismatic female badass lead. No politics played at all. Amazingly done. Speaking of the antagonist, sidekick of the antagonist, Gabriel, he wasn't strong enough. I don't think he was given much of the benefit of doubt to play too long. There was a fight sequence with Elsa and Grace. Obviously, he won, but that was also short lived. Immediately, he was seen. Then, I think. mm Scene 1 in the airport, scene 2 at the party, scene 3 just after the party, the fight sequence. Again, after that, immediately, I think he jumps into right away into the climax. So he's not there much around to see. The climax is on the train sequence. By the way, that bike sequence, you just saw the behind the scenes of that motorbike jump sequence of the cliff. This is where it comes towards the end. And it is beautifully shot, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the CGI has been done perfect. It has been shot perfect. when I was watching that scene in the multiplex. By the way, I have watched this movie twice. I watched it on Sunday. If you guys have watched my short videos, couple of two short videos I came on this, that I'm going to review it, and then I'm postponing my review, and here comes my review. So like yes, Sunday I watched the movie alone, and yesterday I went to watch this movie with my friends. They had not watched this movie before. For them, it was a new thing, and they were also in a state of shock when Tom Cruise did that bike sequence of the cliff. My God, that entire theater was on their seats. They grasped their breaths right there, and watching Tom Cruise go down, go down, go down, go down. Wow, it was brilliant to see, and it was beautiful. Obviously, it was shot in Norway, so it was a beautiful sequence to see. And then the way he lands in the train was painful and amazing at the same time. Beautifully done, guys. And by the way, he lands into a real running, high speed running train. Dude, I don't know how much injury did he just take on himself. That is done. Fight sequence on the train, live train again. Gabriel versus Ethan goes amazing. Gabriel survives this stunt, and he just jumps off the train on a truck and escapes that route, because he breaks the train's acceleration and brakes. He just hammers them, kills the drivers, and train is going to be completely unstoppable. Where the train is supposed to meet on a over bridge, and the bridge is blown off by Gabriel. So he had planned to kill everybody in the train, but obviously he fails because Ethan Hunt stops it from happening. I think Gabriel is just one negative aspect, because he has not been given much time to connect with the audience. And I mean, from the past he was brought back, so like what was the past, I don't exactly know and don't exactly remember. And he's not too badass in this as much as the rest of the cast was. But okay, I'll just give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what he does in the part 2, because he has survived. Pom Clemente, Paris, she was also stabbed by him for backstabbing or betraying something. But I think she survived. She had a pulse remaining in her, so yeah, she has also hopefully survived. I think she will also return in the next part. Rebecca Ferguson has gone. She is dead. Her character Elsa is dead. White Widow stays. Uh, IMF secretary Eugene Kittredge, who was also IMF secretary in the very first Mission Impossible movie, played by Henry uh, Zerensky or something like that. Zerensky or Zereny or something like that. I forgot the surname. I'll pop it out on the screen. Read it for yourselves. So he has written from the Mission Impossible 1, and I have to watch that movie again. I've forgotten. Music given by Lorne Balfe was amazing and beautiful. The theme again perfectly timed. Go and check out his Instagram channel, guys. It's on his Instagram channel. The orchestra is beautifully done. I loved it, and it gives you goosebumps while you're listening to it. Especially the music when Ethan is going to do the bike jump from the cliff. Beautiful, epic music, guys. We were on our feet, all of the audience in our multiplexes. We love to watch that and love to listen to that music. From when we saw that show, it was an evening show, and the show was almost all houseful. I mean, every day the shows are going houseful. We can't wait for this movie to cross 1 billion mark as soon as possible. We definitely want that to happen. It deserves the 1 billion mark after Top Gun Maverick. So that's it from my side, guys. That's all I'm going to say about this movie. I loved it. I have rated it on book my show, because from there's where I book my tickets. So I rated 10 out of 10, obviously, because it's a Tom Cruise movie. In spite of having a couple of bad sequences, minus points which I'm not going to talk about. I don't want to talk unless I completely watch the part 2 also, where because the plot is going to grow and increase. Apart from the key, because part 1 just involved having the key in the position. Now going to grow to part 2, where actually they have to go and stop AI at any cost. So I'll see that part once it comes out. By the way, I can't wait for it to come. It has to come as fast as possible. Please, Paramount Pictures, release that as fast as possible. I can't wait for it. So guys, that's it from my side. Let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you guys think of Mission Impossible part 1, Dead Reckoning part 1. uh, are you waiting, are you going to go for part 2 also? What do you expect Tom Cruise to do in the part 2? Again, the sea stunt is going to come, I believe, because the submarine is still there, down there in the ocean or somewhere. I forgot the location where it is located, but yes, it is still down there, and AI is working at a full-fledged capacity from there. It hasn't stopped. So yes, we can expect one more sea stunt from water stunt from Tom Cruise. Let's see if he can hold his breath much longer than Kate Winslet in Avatar 2. She broke his record. I love it. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and again, hats off to the entire cast and crew for working so hard, doing it so beautifully, achieving what you wanted to do, entertaining the audience the way you wanted, and audience got what they wanted from this movie. So yes, guys, go and support this movie to the maximum. I watched it twice. I think you guys can also watch it twice. I wonder when this franchise is going to end. I think Mission Impossible 8 is supposed to be the final part of the franchise. So I'm going to be emotional at this time. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you again next time with another video. Till then, bye bye. Jai Shri Ram.